talking today, so I hope everybody is doing great. And if you are, say hello. Send me a chat, say hi. Would love to hear from you and see who's out there today. So if you've been following us, and myself and our family, we've been talking about a lot of really fascinating things. If you ask me, if you want to understand about your spine, how to keep your spine healthy, and the benefits of that, short-term and long-term in your life. Also, if people are suffering, or you might be suffering, or having a loved one that's suffering with spinal pain in their neck or low back. We've been talking about the invasive options that you are going to be presented with if you wind up going to a majority of your pain management specialists, orthopedic surgeons, or neurosurgeons. We just finished that whole sequence. So there's 5 of them where we talked about epidurals, facet injections, medial nerve branch blocks, nerve ablations, microdiscectomies, and fusions. I just rattled those off. It's great to have you here. So today I thought we'd change direction a little bit and just talk about one of my favorite things to talk about, just because I've seen so many miracles happen for people. So if you're suffering with these type of conditions, I want you to know that spinal decompression is an absolutely amazing, life-changing therapy. And I'm going to show you some amazing examples of that today, and then we're going to talk about it for the next couple of weeks and go into more detail so you feel really knowledgeable about it, so you can have a conversation with your doctor, or you can make a choice on your own as well. So without any further ado, let's talk about that. So let's talk about some spinal decompression. And what is it? So spinal decompression, we'll talk about the what, the how, and the why that you would actually do this. And that's what it looks like. That's one of the tables. There's a few out on the market. This is one that I used in my office for years and got amazing results, which you'll see here at kind of the end of the presentation. So let's talk about this for a second. So what is spinal decompression? Well, believe it or not, spinal decompression, as you can see right here on the slide, is it's kind of a misnomer in a way, because it's not a therapy per se. It is it's an ideal outcome from doing the therapy. So that's important to know, even though a lot of people will call them spinal decompression tables, and a lot of times, yes, spinal decompression does take place. But if you start getting into the FDA and you look at all that stuff, you want to read the rest of the slide, there's really none of them that are putting them in that actually say decompression in their 510K with the FDA, which is a bunch of stuff if you're trying to get things approved from the FDA. So, hey, if you're out there, say hi. Leave me a comment, please, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, because I get to see them all, and then I can say hi back to you and know that you're here. So let's talk about spinal decompression for a second and what it is. So if you look up here on the right-hand side, right there, spinal decompression is an intermittent therapy that has, we know this, has a positive effect on the nutrition of the disc. That's really important to know, because no matter what you get done, we want to improve the nutrition to the disc, and we also want to improve the hydration of it as well, so that we can keep the disc healthy from there forward for you. If you don't do that, no matter what you got done, you still have diseased tissue inside your body, and it continues to dis-ease, especially if you have listened to the last couple of weeks about how we talked about how decompression works. So the way that it works is you have an alternate distraction followed by relaxation. So there's a distraction of the spine, and I'll give you a little close up here. So let's say you have a disc like this, all right? Let's get that in focus for you. So this table very gently creates a distraction. It holds that pressure there very gently, and then it allows it to relax again. And then you rest, and then it goes through another cycle of that, where it's creating more space for the nerves to get out, and then it goes back to wherever you were. And over a period of time, you can help suck this material back in. So in addition, you get metabolic waste products going out of the disc. That's super important because all cells need to be able to get nutrition, oxygen, blood supply into the cell through the cell membrane, and then it needs to get rid of waste products. Just like when you drive your car, if you have an engine in your car, not an electric motor, you're putting gas in the fuel, and after it burns, there's exhaust going out the exhaust pipe. Well, our cells work exactly the same way. But spinal decompression, and get this is really cool, is that it can, let's put you back on here. So spinal decompression can be used as a prophylactic to help reduce the impact of normal aging. So that means even if you're not having a problem, if you do this therapy periodically, you can help keep your disc really well hydrated so you slow down the aging process. I mean, that's amazing, right? Why wait till it gets broken to try to fix it? So what's imbibition? Well, imbibition leads to healing. And imbibition is the process where the disc sucks blood in to it, sucks oxygen, sucks nutrition in, and then it pushes out the waste products. That's the term for, that's the medical term for that. It's called imbibition. So retraction of the disc material is only half the battle. Okay? The treatment must also provide the disc with an opportunity to heal in the retracted position for long-term relief. So to accomplish this, the traction force is applied intermittently. So it's not just a sustained pull. So people ask me all the time, what about an inversion table? Well, most people on inversion table, you go somewhat upside down and you're just staying there and stretching. What about, I go to the gym and I hold the pull-up bar and stretch my back out. Is that going to do the same thing? Unfortunately, it's not. It's creating a tractional force, but traction doesn't create this movement, this pumping mechanism back to the disc like the disc needs for it to get hydrated and healthy again, and for it to get all of its blood and oxygen and nutrition in and all of its waste products back out. You can't do that with just traction. And with traction, if there's any muscular contraction, you stop the whole process. So the whole show stops. That's why when you put a person on a decompression table, it should be incredibly gentle to the point where you could be able to take a nap doing it. I tell my patients that all the time when I was in practice. When I put you on this table, you're going to be able to take a nap on this table. And people were like, really? They don't believe me, but it's really the truth. The key is really slow and low, progressive tractioning, relaxation. Tractioning, relaxation, and there's a lot that goes behind that to make it happen. So that's how it works. And so this cycle is repeated throughout the course of the treatment, and by doing this, we create more imbibition, more blood in, blood out, water in, water out, nutrition in, waste out, okay? And with the disc, and that's what's required to help it heal. So if you want to get your disc to heal, you got to recreate this process. It's mandatory. Mandatory. So here's kind of a picture if you want to see this. And so what you're looking at again is person on the table. You can see this rope that's attached to a very computerized controlled motor if you're going to a doctor's office to do it. And if this is what your spine looks like right here, where it's all compacted and it's pushing disc material out, as we create this nice gentle distraction force, we're unloading the disc and we're sucking oxygen and blood supply and nutrition back into the disc. As long as you got a somewhat healthy spine without getting into too much detail, and we'll talk about that in the next couple weeks. And then it relaxes it, and then it does it again. It's kind of like an accordion, okay? And an accordion doesn't work if you just push it together one time, right? So you got to suck air back in and then push it back out. And as you do this and play the notes, you can make a really beautiful song. So that's how it works. So what this is, this picture right here, this is a close-up of a disc. And so this is your disc right here. Your outer parts right in here, it's called the annulus fibrosus. If you've been with me, I know you've heard that term before. Same thing on this side. So the annulus, and the real term is annulus fibrosus. We'll call it the annulus for short. That's this multi-layer belting system of fibrocartilage material that's incredibly strong to keep the nucleus, the jelly that's on the inside of the disc, in the middle of the disc. And so the way that this imbibition process works from decompression, if you're over age 20-ish, is from the blood vessels right here, these blood vessels in the bone. So this yellow part is the bone above. So when I say that, we're talking about this structure and then this structure, and then we're looking at the disc in between. And so what's happening is you get these little things, these little white channels right here, and those are called marrow channels, okay, or marrow cavities. And what happens is the bone has high vascularity to it, and if everything works well, that blood supply can go through these little channels into the discs. And that's how you get this imbibition, that's how you get your disc to heal. And so that's why it's so important to create this accordion effect, okay? So what specific conditions benefit that we know based off of research for spinal decompression? Well, here they are, and it's pretty much everything that you guys are going for surgery for. Degenerative disc disease, disc bulges, disc herniations, disc-related impingement syndromes, annular tears, which is how a bulge takes place to begin with, extruded nuclear material. That's when you have a herniation where that jelly has come out of, let me get it here so I can make sure that you can see me. Then when that jelly has come all the way out and it's pushing on the spinal cord or nerve, all right? So extruded disc material. So if you're suffering with any of those, and the majority of people that I see on Facebook when I'm on these groups or people that have called me over the years, these are the things that are you typically causing them back pain. And if you go to a surgeon, they're going to tell you need surgery for that. And yet we know specifically there's lots of scientific proof that spinal decompression has usually way higher outcomes, and it's not invasive. And the cool part is you can do it from your home now, because that's what I did for you. Created a course to do that for you. So those are all the conditions, and so we'll talk about those over the next couple weeks. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you a couple success stories here. These are all patients of mine that I've taken through. I've erased everybody's names on here. They've all given me permission. So let's look at some pre and post MRI. So let's not just look at symptoms. Let's look at the difference in the healing of these people from before they did spinal decompression, what they were suffering with, and then after a 12-week period of doing it right from someone who's certified, who's actually knows what they're doing, and is one of the best in the country. And it's not me just saying that either. So let's take a look. Okay, so here is a case. You can see over on the side where it says pre-decompression. I'll blow it up for you. You can see this person's herniations, really extruded disc material. This one was bad, guys. So you can see this massive extruded disc material right there. All of that, guys, right there, all extruded disc material. So this is the axial view right here, this guy, all right? And it's the one that a lot of people don't feel confident looking at, but it's the one that's really important to know because it's the one that really tells you what's happening with that material. So let's look at this person. Severe sciatic pain, that's pain going from the buttock, low back typically, or buttock, all the way down to usually into the leg, sometimes into the foot. Not what you want, very painful. Severe muscle weakness, we know that that's unfortunately a big issue when we get muscle weakness. Diminished lumbar reflexes, again, we'll talk about that in the next couple weeks and stuff, but that tells us again neurologically something's not wrong with the body. The nervous system isn't working correctly. Severe low back pain, could barely sit and perform his job. So that was his pre-MRI. And here, same guy, 12 weeks later, after going through decompression under my supervision, you can see the difference where the green arrows are. So look at this big black blob over here, and you can see almost totally gone. And look over here at his axial view. This is the one you really want to look at, okay? So that big blob was almost that big, and look how it's almost totally gone now. That's the power of doing spinal decompression. That's why I do this, because your surgeons and your pain management guys, unfortunately, are not going to show you these things. All right, let's look at another one. So again, on the left side, pre-decompression, severe low back pain, again sciatic pain, again muscle weakness, constipation, you can get organ dysfunction, couldn't travel or be an active dad anymore. Let's blow it up a little bit. Now you know what you're looking at, right? You can see how this entire disc extrusion was totally indenting his thecal sac. That's the covering on the brain, the spinal cord. Again, another massive extruded disc right there. Guess what we did on him? We did spinal decompression. Here he is, 12 weeks later. Almost nothing happening there. Very little. Sorry, I drew that too big. And you can see how much this is sucked back in. So we still had a little bit of work to do. But the cool part is that part, when we did that MRI, no low back pain. Disc rehydrating. We can see the difference in his MRI, the color of them. The blacker they get, the more dehydrated they are. So you can start to see in here, starting to get color back into that disc. So we know this process is working. It's getting his disc to be healthier, and that's why he's feeling better. Okay. Normal bowel function again. Running multiple business locations again, like he wasn't able to do, and again, being an active dad. It's beautiful, without surgery. Guys, stop getting cut on, please, for the love of God, please stop getting cut on. You can always do spinal decompression, and if it doesn't work, and you do it under someone who's really good at what they're doing, do it for 12 weeks, and if it doesn't work, you can always go get cut open, right? But once you get cut open, and if they do fusion while they're in there, you can't ever go do this again. So why would you go get cut open first? Don't let these guys scare you. Are there certain times that you need surgery? Yes, we talked about it last week, but they're about that big most of the time if you go back and look at my last live. So let me show you another success story here. So here's another guy in his mid-30s. Again, you can see this massive disc extrusion that he has going on right here. And again, a huge one, pushing on his spinal cord. Can't even see his nerve branch. Remember, this is the nerve branch. Sorry, I'm like drawing, like free floating my hand. That's why it's so shaky. That's the nerve branch that comes off to his left leg. This one you can't even see to his right. Sciatica going all the way down. So I'm sorry, this is the one going down to his left leg. And this is his right, so they're opposite, but you can see my little right and left marker there. So this guy, severe low back pain, again, was told by 4 surgeons he needed surgery to remove this disc extrusion. Sciatic pain all the way down to his foot, could barely even walk, and had massive leg weakness. This is the same patient 12 weeks later, guys. Look at the difference. Do we still have some work to do here? Yeah, well, he just did decompression once a month, continue to rehydrate that disc to keep it healthy. But you can see the massive change. At 12 weeks, no low back pain. Again, no sciatic pain, no weakness in his legs. Was back to an active life of hiking and traveling, and still is to this day. Hey, if you know what I'm about, I'm about always managing stuff the most conservatively, natural way, holistic way that's possible. Always try that first with your health, okay? And then you can always add more invasiveness as you go. But if you do it the opposite way, man, things can sometimes go really bad, and I've seen it go really bad. And then undoing that is super difficult, okay? So please try spinal decompression. And I created a course, which I'm going to show you today, called Disc University, where I teach you how to do this from home. If you don't want to go to an office, or you live somewhere in the world that you can't get to someone that is certified, and you want to go to people that are certified. So I'm not doing this to ring my bell, but I want you to see, in 2019, 20, and 21, if you haven't been following me, I was voted one of the top spinal decompression doctors in the entire United States. I just tell you that to give you some confidence that when I put this course together, I did it because I've been doing spinal decompression for over 10 years, and I figured out a way to teach you how to do it from your home and for a fraction of the cost of going anywhere, and you don't have to go anywhere. If you go into my bio and you look under my information on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, there are links that will take you actually directly to this page. And this is, put it right here. So it's called Disc University. I created 2 courses. It's about 28 modules for each, where I take you literally step by step, just like if you came to my office. I take you step by step by step week by week, and I show you exactly what to do, what to add, how to know what you're that you're doing it correctly, what to expect, and then we start teaching you about nutrition for your disc, proper stretching, proper core strengthening. We send you the unit, the decompression unit, so you have it and you own it, and you get all that for 997 bucks. Let me tell you, my care plans, if you came to my office, were $9,300 on average to do almost the same thing. You know, my mission is to help reduce unnecessary surgeries and stop and reduce the suffering with people with back pain. And that's the whole reason that I created this course. And go take a look at it. I'm super proud of it. Would love your feedback on it. And if you're one of the first 10, if you really want to do this, send me a DM and I'll send you a little coupon code, save you a little bit of money too. So, but yeah, there's links in my bios. Well, I hope everybody has an amazing day. We'll be talking a little bit more in depth about decompression so you can learn a little bit more about it, but that was kind of an overview of it. And I'll show you some of the research over the next couple weeks. I think you're going to be really impressed. I have people still, a person I saw today, she's like, please just let me know when you want my testimonial. Saved her life and got her back to the life that she loves, being a rock star. So I hope you guys have a great day. I love and appreciate you. I'll see you next week. Please tell me what you think about Disc University. If you go and click on the link, please tell me what you think. You can watch a video of me explaining it, showing you some of the pictures, and would love your input because we want to make it great. We want to make it the best course anywhere in the world that people can do to be able to do it from the comfort of their homes, and even if they're on a budget, that they can still afford to do it and get their life back. So see you guys next week. Thanks for being here.